Welcome, welcome, welcome to my house in Georgia. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the compound. Oyemi Ati Oludoye. That would say the family and the ancestors of my husband and of myself. And so we've charged right in here now. We are determined to make ourselves more comfortable and welcome you into being more comfortable in this virtual life that a number of us have been kind of plunged into one way or another, one way or another. You know, we can't be too far apart from the heart. We can be asked to social distance. We can be asked to wear masks. But tribes that I belong to are going to find a way to stay connected. And that's one of the reasons that I'm coming to you today, because just a few weeks back, pre where we are now, we were in the pandemic, but I believe I was still in Louisiana. I believe it was just before Memorial Day that one of my good circle of friends, the Permajam fam, decided, because they are that type of stout earth tribe, that they would tackle the machine world and see where we could meet in the middle between nature and what we all enjoy is around the campfire and being with each other out in the woods. They said, how can we make these two things happen? And for a weekend, like just like as if we could go and be all together in the woods. And I knew that they were up to the task, and they pulled it off. And here's what happened. You know, it was a great event. John Lee Rucker, there is a Facebook group. So if you kind of wanted to know, lots of good stuff. We learned how to make yogurt and itch medicine, and we learned so many things, and we talked about a lot of things. But here's the thing that moved me. It started on Friday. We had an opening circle, and some people were based with fires in different places in this country, and other people, we were all sitting in front of our computers. And so this went on Friday evening through Saturday workshops. I did a workshop on Sunday morning. And then it came to Sunday evening, and it was time for us to kind of conclude. And John looked at me at 10 p.m. at night with about 30 some odd people still on the call and musicians waiting to play, because we had great music just as we would at a Saturday night campfire. So here we were on Sunday at 10 o'clock, and nobody was ready to go. Nobody was ready to leave. And when I woke up Monday morning, I was not the only person that had fallen asleep in front of their computer, had fallen asleep just really hugging each other in a machine world reality. This amazed all of us, because none of us could remember. I did the closing prayer at 10, and then we just agreed to stay on and listen to the music and talk to one another until we got tired. And obviously we did that just like around a campfire, where sometimes we just fall asleep around the fire. It was so amazing. It moved my heart. Even when I tell you about it now, it moved my heart. And so then we fell into these turbulent times, my beloveds, as if we didn't have enough to try to navigate in being truthful and forthright with one another in how we protect ourselves and each other's health. You know, we got this big now cultural, racial scab pulled all the way back, all the way back. Nobody is picking around the edges of it anymore. And even in circles of people that I love the most, we ourselves find ourselves tripping over how we speak to one another, or suddenly a number of my friends that I can honestly say that have pulled back completely, even some I haven't heard from, that I talk to normally 2 or 3 times a week, because certain parts of this racial cultural upheaval has turned the world upside down, where suddenly friends and people who care about one another are on guard as to how we speak to one another. So this brought me to something I'd been feeling moving in here. Like, what was I going to do for the summer solstice? Was I just going to be at the beach? Was I going to try and connect again with Permajam or Earth Skills or Firefly or any number? You know, you all know that I go to at least 14, 15 gatherings in the woods a year. So I had no, lack of people that I could call and say, don't we all want to be standing around a bonfire for this summer solstice? And so my dear one here, Earth Mama, and I have been just kicking it around and kicking it around as conversations began to come up, and we found a number of people in the room were falling short. And then it suddenly occurred to me, well, isn't that right? All the black people in this country went to American public schools, but white people didn't go anywhere to learn particularly about black history or what level of energy and trigger and charge communities of color are at now. Why is this time so different? Why are Confederate statues getting tumbled down and streets getting painted? And I don't know, what are we, day 15, 16 of people filling the streets, and we couldn't figure it out, and we have to. So we created this container for next weekend called the Summer Solstice Lighthouse Summit. And because I do have so many great friends in so many different pockets of various societies, every single one, transgender, white, black, Native American, just young, old. As I was going down the list, we did create an event page, so you'll find it. Again, the Summer Solstice Lighthouse Summit. And as I was going down the list of people to invite, I myself was like, any one of these people would be a stout conversation. So the weekend, we're not going for too much. We do want to invite you into that container if you're looking for a safe place to be heard. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. I've been saying for months now on the Web of Love and other Zoom calls to practice exquisite listening to your own self and to other people. Don't worry so much about the reacting and the responding. Concentrate on the listening. And I think first and foremost, this container is being created for that. That we love each other enough to say, what's the best I can give you right now? And it's that I can fully be present and listen to your heart. And I can appreciate that you are fully present and listen to mine. And maybe together we can sing and pray, and we can pass some good information and some wisdom, and we can tell some stories for those of us that are too young to remember the last time the buildings in the streets were burning down and there was certain political upheaval, those types of things. So we put out there, and here's the way you can begin to interact. We put out there in our social media, in the class book, the Classroom Collective, and the Mystic School of Alchemy in particular. If you have questions that you don't particularly have a community that you can go to and say, well, why is this way? Or why you feel like that? Or what don't I know? What should I read? If you just have a question that you don't have any place for that question to land, hit us up, because we are really trying to navigate the presenters that can most spot on hit what we each want to know. That can help us remove the obstacles in our conversations now and dissolve the triggers, the emotional triggers that are hindering these conversations. Because, beloveds, winter is coming, and we have to make the most of these summer months to have these conversations and to have a forward progression. So what kind of questions? Well, my good friend who I just met through the Sacred Hoop Women's Prayer Collective up in the Asheville area, Vasiliki. She wanted to know, well, how do we become a living prayer? She herself was exhausted. I believe she's from Greece, and she's had a number of pounding things to happen even before we got to this page. And so most of us try and fill that thing up inside of our will that says, I'm going to practice random acts of kindness. I'm going to choose my finest words. And even though we have a certain determination to do that, we might not make it through Walmart before that has just like fallen off or got cut off. And that's her question. How do we sustain that within ourselves on an ongoing basis? We're certainly going to address that. I'm not trying to give you all of that answer right in here. I'm just trying to give you an idea of the questions. And then today we had another friend to ask us, well, what is a lighthouse? And why do you refer to it? And why do we see all these beautiful lighthouses on each one of your social media places? Because that was the best that I could think of. I love lighthouses myself. I did see, and a number of people have seen that little saying that goes across Facebook, say lighthouses don't run to and fro across the ocean looking for lost ships, actually they stand still and concentrate on the brightness of their light. And that struck me, being the woman that is constantly packing and unpacking her car to run to and fro to the many gatherings where there are so many lost ships. And I was like, yeah. And I think, again, Earth Mama and I kick a lot of ideas around. I came to Earth Mama and I said, let's look at some pictures of lighthouses and bridges. And maybe if people can see themselves as lighthouses. The lights go out in lighthouses sometimes. Sometimes that happens. And the bulbs have to be changed, or the lighthouse is old and has to be repaired. Maybe people can kind of see themselves as lighthouses. And we do every Sunday between 1 and 2 on the Web of Love. You'll see it this Sunday. Join us. It's a Facebook group. You can go there to get the link. We started that one Sunday morning with singing that old church song, This Little Light of Mine, so that we could see ourselves as lighthouses. And why were we going to let that light shine? And where were we going to let that light shine? So, yeah, so the invitation is out there. We're open to questions anytime that you want to reach out to us, inbox us, give us a holler. But we sure hope you'll stop by. We sure hope that you'll come in and be a part of it, even if you just sit in as a participant. We'd love if you have something to present that eases the tensions and makes easier the conversations we want to have with one another. That's what we're going for. So I love you all. Look for us in Web of Love. Look for us if you like what we're doing. We want you to really help us out as we're trying to make this transfer to Kindred of Sangoma at YouTube. You can go there and subscribe. You can go to our website, kindredofsangoma.org, and subscribe. You can become a member of the Classroom Collective, a member of Mystic Alchemy. But when you see this video in particular, Earth Mama's on top of it. She's going to put right down in the box below here all the information you need. All the information you need to stay connected, because it's time. It's time. In making that invite today, I looked at all of the different separateness in so many good groups, and I wondered how come we couldn't all start weaving our connections into the web, and we can. And we have a lot of them, and if you don't feel caught up, we also have a document we've put together of some of the massacres, some of all the reasons why. How did we get to here? Who made who really mad over the last 400 years? How'd that go? And if you give us your email, we'll see that you get it, because we kind of want everybody to be up. I just recently posted the 12 different types of lighthouses, not lighthouses, light workers. And I'm going to really address that, because that really is some good medicine to lay down for each of us. So we love you, and it was good talking to you for a minute. I'm going to stop trying to resist coming to you in these machine worlds and come more often. And until the next time, peace and love, and Wakanda forever.